All right, so I'm here with my friend Natalie, and I'm going to be interviewing her for transcultural nursing concerning being a Black American. And so, Natalie, can you tell me a little bit about your family history and your ties to Africa?
Okay. Well, I was born in LA, but I grew up in Rialto. And my first generation, I guess, Liberian and Sierra Leonean, because my mom is from Liberia and my dad's from Sierra Leone. And
And tell me a little about your parents immigrating to America.
well, my parents immigrated here because in Liberia there was a civil war going on, and so my parents had the opportunity to leave, so they took it, and that's how they came here. And for them, like what they've told me, that it was really rough transitioning because like America is totally different from Africa, and just like not even like a lot of people think it may have been language wise. No, it's just like the way society is and certain things that they just didn't know. And
What was it like when your mom first got here? You were telling me earlier that like she had her nursing license in Africa, but then when she got here, she tell me a little bit about that.
okay, well, when my mom came to America, my mom had her Bachelor of Science of Nursing degree. But when she first came here, due to, like, immigration issues, you can't right away, like,
Be a nurse.
yeah,
Like,
be
work
a
in the
nurse.
field.
So my mom's first job was at McDonald's, and that lasted one day. And and then she got a job at Macy's until she was able to take the nursing exam, which she has taken, and she is currently a nurse in Riverside,
Yeah.
California.
So how do you interact with healthcare providers? Like, what has been your experience as a Black American with healthcare providers? Is there anything that you'd like to give us nursing students tips on, like concerning Black Americans or?
Me personally, I'm not a big hospital person, and when like the healthcare professionals do tell me certain things, I do take it. I I'm very ignorant towards it. Like I don't take it seriously, and especially in like our culture, I think that's just something I was born with. Especially when it comes to our health, we ignore it and we don't really take it seriously. And now in our culture, we've been having a serious problem with diabetes, and that is due to the fact that in our culture we eat a lot of starch foods. Like we eat rice, we eat yams, we eat just starchy stuff, and that's been leading to a lot of high cases of diabetes. And for me, for example, one of my uncles right now has diabetes, and his doctors tell him, you need to watch what you eat, you need to exercise. But my uncle feels like, oh well, my family's always eaten it, and if they've eaten it, how many hundreds of years ago, nothing's gonna happen to me. But right now, times are different, and for you guys that are going into the health profession, I would love for you guys to stress the importance of um, whether it's diabetes, any kind of disorder, just stress the importance, because people coming from different societies, they don't see it the same way as we do. Like they just take it with a grain of salt. Like they just it's whatever to them, and they don't see that your healthcare is very important.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit about, you were telling me some stories about terminology used in the healthcare field. Like, tell me about your experience with that.
Well, terminology, it's different everywhere. Like in our society, in Liberian culture, Sierra Leonean culture, I think just maybe West African culture, I'm not sure. But for terms like diarrhea, we say running stomach. So if you say, "Oh, I have my stomach's running," I've said that to a lot of my American friends,
and you're like, "What?"
Exactly. Like, what do your
running stomach?
Yeah, it's simply diarrhea. And another term I think that's very funny is that one of my uncles went to the doctor and he was not feeling good, and he told them, "Oh, my eyes have been turning," and the doctor is like, "Your eyes have been turning," and simply your eyes are turning, that means dizziness. So I guess if you guys are given the chance to like expand your terminology, expand it. Just really, really look at how different cultures say things, because that is the big difference between maybe life and death.
Hey, that's true. All right. So, what are some of your favorite things about your culture and being a Black American?
Um, I just love that. I guess I'm unique. That yes, I'm Black American because I was born here, but I am first generation because my parents were not born here, and I just love that I have the opportunity. Like I am very closely connected to my roots. Like I have cousins in Africa. My grandma lives in Africa. My sister lives in Africa. Like all my family, I think my siblings, we're well, except my sister, we're the first ones that were born here. So all our cousins grew up in Africa, were born there. We're the only ones that weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just love having that connection and having a place to go. Unlike a lot of Black Americans don't have that true connection, and I love having that. I know where I come from.
Right. That's awesome. And growing up here as a Black American with close ties to Africa, like how were there difficulties in that, or like tell me a little bit about that?
Growing up, yes, like by my color of my skin, I'm Black, but students were aware that like my family wasn't from here. So growing up, I got teased a lot. Like, oh, your family lives in the trees. Do you guys wear clothes? Do you speak click? All kinds of stuff. And when I was younger, it was really hard. Like, I was kind of ashamed of my culture because I would get made fun of a lot. But as I got older, I just learned to, I should be proud of where I come from. If people are going to make fun of me, they are.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. That's just them. They don't know. They're ignorant towards other cultures. So, growing up here, but in, like, living in my house, though we're in America, it's like living in Africa. Rules, same food, same everything. It's just that we're not there. So I just love that.
And were there any healing or cultural practices that your family like took from Africa and like brought here? Like, are there any like traditions you guys like have or anything?
Medically.
Yeah, medically.
Okay. Okay. For example, like if you like get another term that Liberians use for sure for rash, because I almost said it, is rising. Mm-hmm. So I was gonna say we have this stuff in our backyard. It's called bitter leaf. I don't know what it is in America. I don't know what they would call it, but we have it growing in our backyard. And if you have like a rash or a rising, you can soak it in water. Like you can put the leaves in there, and when it when all the green comes out, you can put a washcloth and you can wash it on your put it on your skin, and it'll cool the rash.
Awesome.
So that's something when you break out and stuff.
Nice. I'll have to look that stuff up and use it if I ever come across a rash or something. Well, thank you for telling us a little bit about just your life as a Black American, and we appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.